All right, guys, let's do this. What up? It's JoJo on the radio. This is the iHeartRadio countdown, and I cannot. I'm kind of starstruck here in a specific kind of way. I have known this guy for Tyrese. How long have I known you? Like early 2000s or late 90s.
Yeah, we 20. We're at least in the 20 plus club for sure.
Wow. It is, and it's been. We've talked, off and on over the years, but this has been the first time I've had you in a radio like this.
Yes, for iHeart.
In a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. But you still look great. We
Same
both obviously were in the movie Benjamin Buttons. And we did stand-in work. People don't know that. Me and JoJo did the Benjamin Buttons because we don't age.
Thank God for that.
We're timeless. We can look at, photos of me and him from 20 years ago. And, I'm very grateful. And I'm also proud of you, man, because, the goal in life is to be consistently winning and consistently doing what you love to do. And obviously all of the listeners who have been rocking with JoJo, who grew up on JoJo just like I have in my own way, it's been beautiful, man. I'm so proud of you for continuing to rock it and do your best every day. That's all we can do.
Wow. Thank you. Oh, my God.
Yes, sir.
We got so much to chat. By the way, about a month ago, Tyrese was in the building here. This is a national countdown, but we're based in Burbank, L.A. And I'm in the hallway talking to someone else. I had my head in an office door, and all of a sudden I hear behind me this deep voice. Yo, Jojo. I'm like, oh my! I knew who it would. Your voice rattles speakers, man. I got to say this right off. You're the only person I personally know that has a ride at Universal Studios. Like you are. It's the wildest thing. I'm at Universal Studios, L.A. Two rides. That's right. Oh my God.
Transformers.
That too.
And Fast and the Furious.
God, listen to that voice. Jesus.
Ain't that crazy?
It's you take the Fast and Furious ride, and you're going through this little thing, and there's a big hologram of all the cast of Fast and there you are. That's got to be
immortalized.
Yeah. How bizarre or how cool.
It is beyond bizarre, and it's even more bizarre when my daughter will come home. She's 15 now and go, Dad, my friends were in the lunch area showing me pictures of you inside the rides, and it's really, man, listen, man, every day your goal should be to wake up and laugh at your life from being in disbelief about what God continues to do.
True.
And that's been my life, man. I am literally, it does not matter how long I've been doing this, I am still a kid who just cannot believe all of it. It's just every day it's just huh? And it's not that I'm waiting on the shoe to drop, but I'm literally in disbelief. I'm in this life and I'm in this body. Yes, I've worked my off. I've earned everything. Nobody's giving me nothing. But the fruits and the experiences and the people that I get to see and meet and the conversations that I get to have and the moments. I'm sitting here with Kim Burrell.
That's crazy, right?
I'm sitting here with Whitney Houston's, Beyonce, Jasmine Sullivan, Brandy North. Everybody loves and has been directly motivated, inspired, and enamored by all things Kim Burrell. And she's my mama.
She's right there.
And I'm just yeah, well, when people come by, the screaming and shouting and going crazy and the nervousness of being around her, and we just be in the house, she got her bonnet on, we sitting there drinking tea and talking
wow.
and got this mother-son relationship. And I'm yeah, we all love Kim. We all have been inspired and motivated by who she is and what she do with her voice and her talent. But she's in my house for 2 weeks at a time as my mama.
That's just wild, dude.
Yeah. That's
wild.
That's like Stevie Wonder saying, JoJo, I love you, man. And, if you need a father figure in your life because you lost your father, I want to step in and play that role. And Stevie Wonder is at your house for 2 weeks at a time. That's what this is, bro. Just trying to make you understand.
I get it.
There's nothing about my life that's normal. And as I'm doing what it is that I do physically in my body, you are in disbelief about my life. Imagine me.
That's just, now I got to shake her hand. So,
Yeah, and hug her.
Yes,
Yeah.
Glad you saw that.
Yeah. Google Whitney Houston Kim Burrell and understand this is real superhero over here wearing all black.
Tyrese and Kim Burrell hanging out. Let's go. Tyrese, of course, I'll get to Fast 10, Fast X in a couple of seconds here. Album update. I'm told it's called Beautiful Pain.
Yes, sir.
Why the title? What do people need to know?
Beautiful Pain is me discovering the beauty in my pain.
Talk about that. Yeah.
So I was in a relationship for 5 years, married, and, life is life. Life happens, right? People have been through divorces and breakups and unexpected breakups. Happens all the time, happens every day. And I went through it. And, I wanted to be married for the rest of my life. I just knew that I was going to grow old and gray and have no teeth left in my mouth and be eating mashed potatoes at the hometown buffet,
Right.
That was my life. That's what I seen. And so to suddenly wake up and kind of have that moment like, wow, she filed for divorce and I'm just trying to figure out what can I say and what can I do to fix it. I'm one of the greatest beggars of all time. I will apologize till I'm blue in the face and just trying to figure out how to turn this all around. And ultimately it didn't happen. So now after 10 years of not releasing music because I didn't really feel it, I sing from a real place, not motivated by money. Like, I'm not chasing hotness or relevancy on the charts. I'm not losing sleep over anybody else's single or what Grammys they're winning. I'm doing me, and I'm doing it at my pace, running my race. And, so now I'm back in the studio, and I'm listening to this album, having that third-person experience again, and I'm like, well, I wish this album was everybody else's but mine. But I'm in the studio listening to the album and the music and what we've done musically and sonically and lyrically, and I'm having those moments again where I'm in disbelief that this is mine.
From a standpoint of how painful it is or just how good it is or both?
Just like all of it. Like it's honest, it's vulnerable, it pulls at, it's very, and again, I'm talking about it like it's not mine because I can't believe it's mine.
Yeah.
And I hate that I'm out of a marriage in order for the pain to push me into, birthing this album. But yeah, man, I got a first single out featuring a legend, a pop rock black icon. There's been 3 official certified rock stars with the guitar: Jimi Hendrix, Prince, and Lenny Kravitz. Tyrese featuring Lenny Kravitz. The song is entitled I Don't Think You Ever Loved Me.
Which I'm going to play in a few minutes here.
If you play this song, first of all, I don't want you to just play it. I want everybody that's going to listen to the song to know that it would mean the world to me if this song were to get into rotation, where it's being played on the radio all the time, being introduced by JoJo. And here's the thing. It's not that I want to be on radio. It's just like, wow, I got a song with one of the biggest pop stars in the world that we all love and adore named Lenny Kravitz. And I got a song that I did from my heart. I've never worked with Lenny Kravitz in my life. I've met him probably once. I probably know Lenny Kravitz more through other people versus me knowing him for myself. I know him through Lee Daniels, the director, and I've heard many stories from Denzel Washington, right? Who happens to be his best friend. But for me to put this song on Lenny Kravitz's radar, and we got footage of him in the studio laying all of his guitar parts. If this song is not being played hour on the hour, day and night on this radio station, I quit. That's how I feel. Because I quit. If this was Sam Smith featuring Lenny Kravitz, y'all would be going quick. So I'm just putting it out there. I ain't got no problem with nobody else's success. I want so badly, and sometimes you can speak things into existence. What would make me happy is to have people tagging me with JoJo and all of this energy that I love about JoJo introducing my song every day because y'all are calling, requesting, and y'all just cannot get enough of this song being played on this station. It's going to change music. When this song becomes successful for real, it's going to change music. It's going to make people get away from random little beat machines and start pulling out real instruments, writing real songs again, and getting back into that thing. Do you think Lenny Kravitz would be featured on some goofy BS? Lenny showed up and said, send me the files. I would be honored to play on that song. And he's like, yo, this song, he's like, yo, and listen, I was at a recent movie premiere. I love telling people these stories because I really want you to understand, I don't care about a radio spin. I want you to understand the story. I went to a movie premiere recently. Lenny Kravitz was in a film with Jennifer Lopez, right? And Josh Duhamel, my brother that I did Transformers with. I went to the movie premiere. And before the movie started, it was Jennifer Lopez's manager named Benny Medina.
I know him, yeah.
There was a couple of other people that were around. And he walked up because I was telling Benny that I did a song with Lenny and I'm here to support the movie and, you know, connect with Lenny because he did the song and I didn't see him. I wasn't in the studio with him. He just like, yo, send me the files. I'm going to the studio. And he did it. And I'm just like, what is going on?
Wow.
Because I'm very clear about who I'm in the presence of. I'm like, that's Lenny Kravitz, okay? This dude got a 16-pack. He's never not had abs his whole life, okay?
How's that possible? I don't know.
It's like, this is a real guy, okay? So as I'm standing there in the premiere and I walk up with Benny Medina, he's like, oh, man, good to see you. Man, what brings you out? I said, man, you know, Josh Duhamel is my guy. And I love Jennifer, but I'm here, man, because I did a song with Benny Medina, and we about to shoot a video. And,
what do you mean, Lenny Kravitz? Yeah.
I mean, sorry, I did a song with Lenny Kravitz, and he's like, really? And I said, yeah, man. So he's like, come with me. And he said, I walk over to Lenny because Benny is so intrigued by the fact that we did a song together. He wants to hear, like, how did it happen? You know, Benny is a very curious guy. He asks a million questions. That's why he always wins. So Lenny is sitting there and he's like, so what is this song? What does it sound like? He said, oh man, the song, this is Lenny Kravitz. The song just like, it just rips me. It just like, it caved me. And then he's like, and this album, when you hear this album, man, it's got the vibes. This is Lenny. It's got the vibes of like, Hear My Dear, Marvin Gaye, songs in the key of life, Stevie Wonder. It's got that cohesiveness, this energy. And I'm sitting there now, because Lenny never told me this. I'm sitting there now listening to Lenny Kravitz promote my song and my album to Benny Medina in the middle of their movie premiere. It's too much. So if this song ain't on the air, hour on the hour,
you're quitting.
I quit, man, because I don't make music with a specific audience in mind. I believe that my movies belong to everybody. I believe that my music belongs to everybody. That's why I get in the studio and do it, man. I believe that. And Lenny believes that, right? So I'm just excited, man. And I didn't even plan on talking about the song that long, but I think I feel safe here. That's why I'm mentioning it.
Tell you what, in a few moments, we're going to play this track.
Wow.
And this is the hype. We just hype that up. You guys get ready.
You got the backstory.
Get ready. Yeah.
They about to listen with a different ear.
Yeah. Don't leave, Ty. We ain't done yet. Fast 10, Fast X is out this weekend. How insane is this movie? Because every one of these Fast and Furious movies have been madness.
Up and up.
And here we are. I mean, how do you keep topping? And it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we are under more pressure than people could ever imagine because every time we release a Fast and the world shows up, Fast and the Furious was the most successful film released during a pandemic. Like, people love this movie and this franchise so much. They were like, look, if I'm going to go to the movies one time and literally put my life on the line, potentially catch COVID from being in a theater around people, this is going to be the movie I do it for. And you have no idea. The fans that's listening to this, yes, I'm Tyrese. Yes, I play Roman Pierce. Yes, I'm a piece of the bigger piece called The Fast and the Furious, but you have no idea how much it means to us that y'all continue to show up around the world to support The Fast and the Furious. There's so many movies, so many TV shows, so many things being streamed, so much content. We are overwhelmed with the amount of things that are being pumped out. It is like an assembly line of creativity that is being dumped on us. 50 new movies and TV shows a week. You have no idea
Let me ask
how much it means that y'all keep showing up for us.
When you get the script for, for example, Fast 10, do you ever look through the script and there's some crazy stunt, something so outrageous, and you're like, how are we going to do this? And then it happens.
It's hard to read a stunt, just so you know.
It doesn't say car jumps over
it'll
then plane.
It'll
and then
say what it's saying, but you're reading it and you have no way of seeing it.
Fair point, yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter how great the writer is and how descriptive it is. Like reading a Transformers script, it's like, dude, just let's just get to the set. Talk to me about what we about to do before we do it. Like Optimus Prime comes in with the like, dude, just let's just get to the set. Show me what I'm wearing. Tell me where to stand. Show me what's blowing up. Tell me what to avoid, and let's get busy because it's hard to read it. It's like Morse code, literally. So the bigger the Fast and the Furious gets, other than the dialogue, and which I thank God that we still have dialogue, and the whole movie from start to finish is not just action, but so other than the dialogue and me kind of just understanding where we're going and what city or country we're in, and what is my role in connected to the bad guy or the good guys or the relationship that we have, what I'm saying, what is the journey. Other than that, everything else is just blur. It's just blur.
I guess the point being, it's another must-see.
It is.
Tyrese, let me ask, I've talked to you about this off air, a little touchier topic, and I never met him, but you've told me some beautiful things about Paul Walker, and he will always be a part of Fast and Furious, and of course, a part of your life.
Yeah.
Talk about Paul. What was he like?
Where do I start, man? Paul.
Let me say one thing. I hear stories when someone passes. You always hear the good things about him.
Yeah, of course.
And sometimes it gets blown out of proportion. No names or the bad. Yeah. In Paul's case, I've heard so many good things before he passed, and of course, and after. And it's just he seems like the guy that he's the guy.
Yeah. Well, listen, man. We are one of the lucky ones who we all love him, whether you know him, met him, or not.
Right.
Right. Because he just appears to be not just handsome, but he just appears to be a good guy. Like I could hang out at a bar, go to a Dodger game. Like he just seems like such a cool guy, but he happens to look the way he look.
He's
and
a good looking dude,
movie,
yeah.
All of that. So it's to know him is to love him. And what an honor it was to be able to, like, I still got text messages in my phone.
Right.
Because iPhones was around, 8-9 years ago from his passing. And so, I still got text messages in my phone of the exchange that me and Paul. I still got John Singleton text messages saved in my phone in my iCloud. Like,
wow.
What a man. What a man. And I think of all things that I've struggled with over the years from the loss is I know so many bad people who wake up every day with ill will and malicious intent, like trying to snake oil, trying to say something, do something, stab you behind your back, and trying to do whatever it takes to cut in line. Literally one of the nicest people on human feet in Paul. And so what a tragedy. What a heartbreak for him specifically. If someone is drinking, smoking, using drugs, and then ultimately the outcome is that's very different than just saying this is a good guy. And people would never put two and two together, but I'll put it out there because it's one of the things that that really warms my heart. So for whatever reason, they could not make a deal at the time with Vin Diesel, which is why me and Paul ended up doing Too Fast, Too Furious. So then they did 3 without me. They did 4 without me. And then we ultimately ended up doing 5. But the whole time, Paul Walker, every single day, every movie was campaigning, we got to get Tyrese back in the franchise. And the concept, there's never been a beef between me and Vin. I'm not painting that picture, but I want to tell y'all, like, imagine someone in a singing group and then you get replaced by somebody and now we all supposed to get back in a group and I'm supposed to sing with somebody who stepped in to replace me.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. Like, okay, well, you and Paul ended up doing that movie together because our negotiation with the studio went a certain way and it didn't land. So now the opportunity for me to do Too Fast, Too Furious presented itself because at the time they didn't make a deal with Vin. So now us all getting back together and being in the same movie together, that was a concept that didn't even make sense for me. But yet Paul was determined to figure out a way to get me back into the franchise. And he would call me and he would tell me, yeah, man, I just had a conversation with Vin. I just had a conversation with the studio. I just had a conversation with the director. And he was like literally campaigning. So when we finally did Fast 5, man, I was on the set and I was like, yo, this has been years in the making. And Paul was determined to figure out a way to get me back in the franchise. And I've been there ever since.
Wow.
So what a man who could have just said, I'm still in it. I'm making all this money. I'm this, I'm that. He kept thinking about me. He kept championing me. He was in rooms that I was not in, speaking good on my name. And I praise God. And I praise Paul. I love Paul. I miss him. But he has no idea on a really ginormous scale. He has no idea what that good word and putting my name back in the hat and continuing to mention. It doesn't matter what they said, what they disagree with. Tyrese, man, he's such a good, just kept mentioning my name. And then Fast 5 happened. And it's been 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and now we're at 10. And I mean, Vin Diesel has said this publicly. He said one of the greatest gifts that Paul Walker has ever gave me is you.
Wow.
So even if Vin could not imagine what or way or how to make it make sense that I'm in the movie with him, and it's not that he didn't, but if he didn't and he couldn't wrap his head around how could he says to everybody, the greatest gift that Paul Walker has ever gave me is Tyrese.
Yeah, it's safe to say people like this don't grow on trees.
Well, listen, man, it's
a lot of good people, but he's a special one. Clearly.
He is. Listen, man, my family and every person that works with me and for me that's able to pay their bills and put their kids in private school, rents and cell phones and living in this area and doing the things that they do from the money that I make from Fast and the Furious, along with everything. It all goes back to giving God all the glory and just saying, like, sometimes you will have angels in your life who will be the drum of it will be beating a drum, saying your name in rooms that you're not physically in yourself and trying to do whatever it takes to take care of you and put you on.
Man.
So I have no idea what I ever said and did that could make him love me the way he did. But I'm telling you, man, I've definitely lost a lot of sleep. Just the idea that his heart is no longer here. His presence, what God would have probably continued to use him to do. That's the part that breaks my heart. I mean, we all got to go. But I'm like,
right.
Man, he was going to impact so many more people's lives from just him being him and being here. And that's the part that breaks my heart because I know what God used him to do for me in my life and my family. So Yeah, it's definitely. But that's why I'm doing Fuel Fest with Cody, which is coming to L.A. soon. That's why anything I could ever do with and for his daughter Meadow, late night conversations about things he's trying to figure out and emotionally navigate through. Whatever I can do with his mom and his pops, don't even blink. It's done. I don't care about the money. I don't need no one to know what I said or did or how and when I showed up. I don't care. Mention his name and watch how fast I rise to the occasion. And I will cancel everything from a phone call. Hey man, I was wondering if you could cancel all of that. I don't want to inconvenience. You ain't inconveniencing nothing, man. I'm on my way. Wow. Yeah, that's who I am.
That's special,
Paul
man.
knew.
That's special, man. Yeah. Watching the trailer, is he in 10? I could have swore I saw. Maybe you can't give that away.
You gotta. They figured out some very beautiful and creative ways to keep our brother's presence felt.
Amen. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Ty.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Are we going on tour? Well, I know you're going on tour. I don't know why I'm asking that, but talk about this tour.
Yes.
Live performances.
Yes.
What do people need to know, Tyrese?
Well, first of all, I'm like the unicorn that don't really get out much, I'm in your house, all over your radio, every day, all day. But, people don't physically see me. It's really crazy. I think I post so much on my Instagram and my social media. I would think, man, you post so much, you ain't no big deal no more. But it's something about the beauty of the connection, but yet the disconnect.
Right.
Because people are still very excited to see people in real life outside of seeing them every day on social media, which is very confusing for me because I don't really know if I would be as excited to see my favorite stars if I was the average Joe still living in the neighborhood and someone posts day and night. I'd be like, oh, man, you used to be such a big deal to me before I seen how often you post. But, man, when I do these shows and these concerts, they're all sold out. The love is overwhelming. And I'll be looking at the women screaming like, me? I'm in disbelief, man, literally. And so even the movies and just everything, I'm just like, wow, it's all still on fire and still happening. And the excitement is all still there. But why? But I love it. But why?
What do you mean, why? I'll tell you why. Look, come on now. I mean,
it's unbelievable, man.
You must love. I mean, is there a moment in every show where you realize that, dude, I've got him in the palm of my hand? I mean, when they've come to see you, man, so they're excited. But is there a moment where I've got him?
It's the energy from the intro, man. Like the coming out on the stage, the band is playing, band goes quiet, and I'm just standing there. And the moment happens, and then it just becomes boom, boom. It just keeps. It's
what a rush.
I'm on stage, and I'm just like, real, just looking around. Who you? Yeah, and it might sound like PR, but I'm telling y'all my truth, man. I'm on stage, and I just can't believe my life. It's really. I'm waiting on Ashton Kutcher to pop up and say I'm being punked. So over 20 years of doing this, and who would ever think, from a 30-second Coca-Cola commercial to 20 plus years of being on, and Fast 10 is coming. Like, what?
You've been blessed, man, and you've worked really hard for this.
Yeah, you too, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Ty, once again, Fast 10. Give me something else. What do people need to know? This is one of the biggest franchises of all time. Here we are at number 10.
Yeah. What a blessing, Just, I wish I can kiss and hug all the crew members from Fast 1 who was sitting in that tent, had no sense of where this could all go. This all started from a paragraph in Vibe magazine doing an article about an underworld car culture in New York. And now it's over 6 billion worldwide. And
wow.
People have literally grew up. Now, this is the only non-comic book, non-TV show to ever become a franchise. It's this successful.
Say that again? The only
non-comic book and non-TV show turned movie to ever become
Shut up.
a franchise of this scale. Yeah, this is not. You did not read the Fast and the Furious comic books as a kid, and then it became a franchise. This is like, this all started from an article in Vibe magazine talking about a underworld car culture in New York.
When did you know? And don't say when it sold 1 billion, tickets and whatnot. When did you know that, dude, we got something that could? No way to predict 10 years.
Nobody knew, and none of us. We are aware of the fans and the support, and we're aware of the culture of fans and supporters, but every time we do another one, we're all very, very clear that we're all blessed and very lucky to still be doing this after this many years. The pandemic took out a lot of franchise films.
True.
The pandemic had folks going straight to streaming and was like, whatever you was before it was time to get people to show up in the theater, you're no longer. And they still showed up. This was before the vaccines was even introduced. Folks is like in the theater with a mask on, like, yo, I may not be alive next week, but I'm going to the theater to watch this movie. That level of support is, it's overwhelming. And we do not take it for granted. Believe it.
Get to that theater.
That's it.
The bigger the screen, the louder the thing.
And for everybody that's already watched the movie, we thank you. And I also have another film that I definitely want you to see and support. If you got a little extra time on your hands, it's called Come Out Fighting. It's a war movie about the first black group of, soldiers that went and served in World War II. I'm like arming a tank, and it's completely dramatic. But, if you got a real appetite for some Tyrese this weekend, go over there, have some fun with all the action, and then go and dip over there and see Come Out Fighting on the dramatic side. Very blessed to be able to coexist fluidly in the action and the drama.
You're doing it, man.
Thank you, sir.
Before you go, Don't Think You Ever Loved Me, featuring this dude named Lenny Kravits.
Legend.
You were raving earlier that we built up the hype on this thing. This is it. This
This is a song that I know I sing. I got it. But when I jumped in the vocal booth to sing this song, I literally, if you can think of like a zipper and wearing a jacket, I'm wearing a zipper right now. Listen to this sound. You hear that? I got in the vocal booth, unzipped my chest, and opened up my chest cavity and put my heart on the microphone. And my vocals was up here. My voice and my mouth is up here above the mic, but I went just like this, and I put my heart on the mic. And I sent the song to Lenny Kravitz. And without having no 10, 15, or even 5-minute relationship with this legend, we got Jimi Hendrix, Prince, and Lenny Kravitz. Black singer, rock star, guitarist, live musician, arena. That's who Lenny Kravitz is. That's who Prince was, rest in peace. That's who Jimi Hendrix was originally. I Don't Think You Ever Loved Me. I want y'all to request this song day and night. This is the song that just needs to go crazy. If you not calling JoJo every 10 minutes and blowing up this song, I quit music. I'm going to quit music if y'all don't start blowing up the phone lines about this song. I Don't Think You Ever Loved Me, featuring Lenny Kravitz. Let's go.
Ty, love it. Just love it.
It happened. It just happened.
Dude. Let me grab one little Ty, at the end of every interview. Man, good to see you. Fist bump to make it official.
Come on, man.
Bam.
Come on, baby. Come on, man. Thank you for having me on, JoJo. I know you, my brother. I know I got your cell phone in my phone, and I know we send each other DMs and funny things all over Instagram. I know you're always in my comments, and I'm in yours, man. But I will never take this brotherhood and friendship for granted, man. You're a good man.
Thank you,
and
sir.
You're a Capricorn.
Same back to you. Yeah. Oh, my. Ain't that the truth?
Thank you for letting me come on. This is your audience, your stage, and your platform. So grateful. Thank y'all for supporting Fast 10. Come Out Fighting in theaters now. Go to Ticketmaster.com. I have to see y'all beautiful faces in my audience and definitely blow JoJo up day and night. Jump in his DMs, jump in his comments, tell him how you feel about the song after you hear it. And I want this song to be played as often as they play in all these other songs. I want me and Lenny Kravitz to be right there. And it's only going to happen with y'all support. So thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful.